Let's take a look at the journal entries for a notes receivable, starting with this transaction on November 6th, where our company issued a $15,000 90-day notes receivable at 12% interest. The interest will be paid when the note is repaid. So to start with, we need to record the debit to notes receivable and credit to cash for when the note is issued. And essentially what our company is doing is loaning money. So that's why we're crediting cash and debiting the asset account notes receivable. Now, because the note is going to be due in February of the next year, we need to accrue interest revenue on December 31st, our fiscal year end, for the interest that we've earned over that time period. So we've previously calculated in another video that 24 days have gone by in November since the issue date, and there are 31 days in December. So that's 55 days total of interest revenue that we need to accrue. So when interest is calculated based upon a number of days, we're going to use this formula. Take the principal, multiply by the decimal equivalent of the annual interest rate, and then multiply by the 55 days out of 360 that have gone by in this fiscal year. Now on the exam, you can divide by 365 days if you want, but this is the banker's method that we learned about in class, and it results in more even round numbers. So $275 is our interest revenue for this 55 days that have gone by. So we'll debit interest receivable for the amount of interest owed to us as of this point and credit interest revenue. So when the note is due on February 4th, the customer or company that owes us the money will be repaying the principal balance of $15,000 plus all of the interest for the 90 days. And here we've calculated that 90 days worth of interest is $450. Since we've already recognized $275 in interest revenue in the previous fiscal year, we only need to recognize $175 more in interest revenue. So our entry will look like this. We'll debit cash for the principal plus total amount of interest received, credit notes receivable to remove it from the books, credit interest receivable, because remember we put this amount onto our balance sheet last year, so we need to remove it since the interest is being paid in full, and finally credit interest revenue for the $175 in interest that we've earned since the beginning of this year until February 4th, the due date.